All right, let's get into our secrets this morning. Man, this is kind of interesting. So, this girl, I feel like she's wanting to do something in this relationship that will pretty much end the relationship.
Oh, yeah? I mean, I don't think it's going to end it.
Barbie, yeah, because Barbie is, sitting here saying that you can do this, but I don't think that this is common. I think that if you try, well, I'll let her speak, and you see what your thoughts are whenever it comes to this. We are on Facebook Live on the Hot Facebook page, Twitch and YouTube, Dex and Barbie T, all one word there. Good morning. We have done the voice disguise for you, so hopefully your boyfriend isn't recognizing your voice. Go ahead.
So we've been together these 2 years. It's been great. And then we finally moved in together about a month ago. I immediately started to regret it. It's not that I don't love him, but now it's like we're always together 24/7, every day, morning, noon, and night. And because I work from home and he works from home. And I feel like I never get to have my alone time. Like, never. And for me, being like this, extroverted introvert, I need it. I gotta, recharge. And so this is the killer. I want to move out, but only so I can have just a little bit of alone time. And all my friends said that, if we move out, that we're going to break up and it's not going to work out. And, I can't take a step back like that. But I don't know. I feel like it's not that I don't love him. I do. I want to be with him. I just cannot take the 24/7 in my face. I love him, but I just need a little alone time.
That's fine that you want the alone time, but I kind of get what your friends are saying, because let me tell you something. When it comes to relationships, we all move forward. And that's where your mistake was. When you guys moved in together, you were not ready to move in.
But that's the thing. She realized it, so now she needs to get back to her space. They can still be in a relationship.
Yeah, so move out, and then let's be in a relationship. Well, then where do you go from there? What's next? You can't move forward again, because obviously you can't live together, because she can't handle it.
I think they can live together, but once one of them leaves the house to go to work.
Well, then why don't you do that now? Why don't one of you guys start working, outside of the house?
I mean, it's going to be hard to try to tell him to change his job, and I know I don't want to change mine, because, who wants to go to work again? Like, inside a brick-and-mortar building. Like, so that's why it's so hard.
This is what I'm saying. You can't step back in a relationship. Once you take that step forward, like, this is the same thing. If he would have asked you to marry him, and then you were like, oh, I can't handle being engaged, and you don't want to be engaged anymore, but you still want to date the guy, where's the future there? The future's over.
You prepare for it so she can take a step back and prepare herself. Maybe spend the night.
You guys have been together for 2 years.
And I was with someone for 8 and never moved in. That is just fine.
Yeah, but you never took that step forward. What I'm saying is once you take that step forward and you can't handle it.
You can go back just a little bit and say, you know what? We weren't ready for that.
Yeah, so move out, get your stuff and get out. But we'll still stay together. Okay, that's not going to work.
Yes, it will.
It won't.
Yes, it will.
How?
It's going to be fine.
People don't take steps backward.
Yes, they do. Sometimes you need to step back and say, you know what? Not really ready for that. Still want to be together. Let's continue to grow, but take it slow.
I'm telling you,
okay.
Once you take that step forward in a relationship, these are relationship steps. You move in together, you can't move back out unless there's some kind of other occasion. She's saying that she can't live with the guy. So she's not ready to live with the guy.
Sometimes you're just not ready to give up that space.
That relationship's done. It's done.
It's not done.
It's like getting engaged and saying, I can't handle getting engaged. Oh, okay. So we're just going to be boyfriend, girlfriend?
Sometimes people are not ready.
Yeah.
And they need to realize that. It's better to realize it than just go ahead and do it because, I'm already there. Got to keep moving forward. Sometimes you do need to take a step back in life and be like, you know what? I'm really not ready for that. I don't want to do that.
And
right
that
now.
Step back in life means that they're not going to be together.
No, it doesn't.
He's not going to step. Okay. Get ready to lose your man. 866 639 4689. Give us a call. Tell us your thoughts. And have you ever, done this? Now, keep in mind, not because you moved back out and took a step backwards because someone had a job change or something like that. It was that you were ready. That's what she's saying.
Listen, sometimes a step back in life will slingshot you forward. It'll be okay.
Yeah, to a new relationship. Call now. I mean, come on. Am I wrong? Come on. All right. Good morning. Hang on just a second. You're going to be our first person. Hey, good morning. We've got one call ahead of you. Stand by. Good morning. We've got 2 calls ahead of you. Stand by. Whoop, whoop. Almost dropped something. All right, let's see. Oop. Man, my phone's blowing up now. Come on. There we go. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Constance from Knoxville.
Good morning, Constance. What are your thoughts? Real quick, go.
Okay, that woman has lost her mind. She has no future of having any kids or a husband because you never get the alone time you need. Never.
So she wants this alone time, and she's thinking, oh, well, I'll just let him move back out,
I
and
think you
it will
can-
be
Oh,
good.
no.
You can definitely get that
No.
alone time with having kids and a husband. You just have to set that boundary and say, listen, this is how it's going to be. You have to create that for yourself.
You're right. You can do that, but it doesn't always work out for you.
So if she has him move back out, do you think that relationship's going to work?
No.
Thank you.
Because he's going to feel some type of way.
Yep. Thank you very
Let
much.
him feel it.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Stephanie, and I'm calling from North Carolina.
Good morning. Go ahead. What are your thoughts whenever it comes to this?
Okay, so when it comes to this, I will say I actually was in a very similar scenario where once I was in the relationship and he moved in, I realized that personally in our spaces at that point in time in our relationship, it was much too soon. So in my experience backing it up, it does something a little bit to a man's ego to retract where you are in the position of your relationship. And when he, as much as he tried to be understanding and say like he wasn't hurt about it,
He was.
he actually ended up cheating and stuff by someone. So
that ended the relationship, right?
It truly did because, he didn't, as much as he was like, yeah, no, I get it. It's space. Like still to him at that point, you can't move past that because that is your next step.
Thank you very much.
Well, he wasn't
so
the one
big,
anyway.
Yeah.
He wasn't mature
Right.
enough.
No, he wasn't. But I will say this. In their situation, just because you work from home does not mean you have to be restricted to working in your home. You are absolutely welcome to go to a library, to a quiet place and stuff to still facilitate your passions and have that alone time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good morning. What's your name? Where you go? Oh, Dr. Marie, real quick. Go ahead.
This is Dr. Marie Dex, and she about to lose her man.
Why you say that?
Speak
Dr.
on it. Go
Marie?
ahead.
Because you can take a step back, just not that far back.
Mm-hmm.
The step back she needs to take is to sit her man down and have a conversation and let him know how she's feeling. So maybe once a week or twice a week, somebody could go to a hotel or with their family so the other person can get their alone time. There is a solution, but leaving is not it. Not if she want her man.
Thank you very much. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning, it's Patrick from Knoxville.
Guy's point of view. Let's hear it. What do you think?
All right, so I agree with you, Dex. In this situation, I think the step back is just going to end the relationship. And they could have done like a trial, say, for example. They could have been, hey, I'm going to stay here a week to see, if the move in is going to work or not. Try to get the feel of the vibe of living together.
Smart
but
man.
she didn't do that.
Yep.
But why would it ruin their relationship if they both are honest with each other and they're like, you know what, we need to take a step back. We need to fix some things about ourselves and come back and try this again.
Well, both of them don't want to get rid of their job is what I'm feeling, because I know a work-from-home job for a guy is the best thing ever, not having to leave the house.
Right. Yeah.
So I feel like they're both going to have that conflict of personal time.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you for your call.
Thanks.
Here's the thing. Again, it goes back to we move forward in a relationship. When you step back in a relationship, not a small step back, I mean like a big step back. She's not ready to have someone live with her, and then all of a sudden she gets, back to living on her own. She'll never let that man back into the house because she's always going to be scared.
She might miss him.
Gosh, no. I don't think so. I think that this is the beginning of the
See,
end.
this is why I'm not even going to do that.
See, Hey, let's get some of these comments real quick.
This is why you marry your best friend. You'll want to be around them. But I love my best friends. I don't want to be around them all the time. I absolutely adore my best friends. They are the best things ever. But each person, I like my alone time. In real life, I really do. So I'm at home a lot. well, when I'm at home, I'm by myself. Put it like that. It won't work. Moving out for sure, but they can set days that they spend time together. That's I agree with that actually. Sit have some days where they have together and not even live together. I do you feel like you really love one another, you'll figure it out. Exactly.
What do they say?
If you really love one another, you'll figure it out.
If you really love him, then you'll
Mhm.
you'll figure it out and you'll try to make it work in the place that you're at.
The problem isn't being ready for a relationship. It's that he doesn't understand the needs of an introvert. That's it. Who wants to be around the partner 24/7? Weird.
Yeah, but that's natural. So when you move in, you got to figure out how to adapt to that situation. That's what
I
is
like
being
being
missed here.
around my person. When I have a person, I do like being around them. I'm not gonna lie, I do. But I need those healthy boundaries.
Those healthy
I
boundaries.
know I need that. I know I need.
I hate these headphones.
I think that's why
All right,
I
here
like
we go.
long distance relationships.
Everybody's trying to jump in on this. Can you take a step back in your relationship? Like, say, for instance, can you, get engaged and then all of a sudden say, you know what? No, let me give this ring back to you. I'm not ready to be engaged.
They
Let's
usually
just be in
take their
relation.
time on that.
No,
They just
no.
say, we're just
Okay.
not going to rush the date.
Okay, well, let's get to what we're actually talking about. This girl has moved in with her boyfriend,
Mm-hmm.
and now she's having regrets because she feels like she can't live with him. It's just too, suffocating. They both work from home, and now she wants her space again. So she's thinking about getting him to move out so that she can be back to living by herself.
She wasn't ready. It's okay to admit that.
Yeah, that's fine, but you made the mistake. Now you're wanting to take a step back in the relationship.
Right.
That's just not going to work. You don't take steps
That's
back.
being an adult and realizing, you know what, this isn't right. Let us step back, get in our own zones,
Mhm.
and then figure it out
Okay.
on how we can
You know what?
progress
You know
forward.
how the figure out part is going to come? Him breaking up with her, or
But
them
why?
breaking up because you don't take a step
if
back.
he truly loves her, he'll understand.
Oh, don't do that. Oh, if you love me, you would. Good morning. Go ahead. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so when it comes to this, I will say I actually was in a very similar scenario where once I was in the relationship and he moved in, I realized that personally in our spaces at that point in time in our relationship, it was much too soon. As much as he tried to be understanding and say like he wasn't hurt about it, he actually ended up cheating and
Oh.
stuff by someone.
That ended the relationship, right?
It truly did.
Okay. Well, he shouldn't have cheated, and that's ridiculous. But still, I mean, like, it's just going to lead.
Exactly.
Dr. Marie, is this Dr. Marie?
This is Dr. Marie Dex, and she about to lose her man.
Why you say that?
Speak
Dr.
on it.
Marie?
Go ahead.
Because you can take a step back, just not that far back. The step back she needs to take is to sit her man down and have a conversation and let him know how she's feeling. So maybe once a week or twice a week, somebody could go to a hotel or with their family so the other person can get their alone time. There is a solution, but leaving is not it. Not if she want her man.
That's right. Say it louder for the girl who's hiding in the back
Not hiding in the back.
because she's avoiding her man.
I think I do agree, though. She does need to have a conversation. But that conversation, if it is for her to move out, then she needs to move out.
866-639-4689. I'm about to clear all of our phone lines, okay? If you have actually done this and it worked, where you took a step back in the relationship and you guys still stayed together and everything was
Mhm.
happy and roses and then you were able to move forward again, call now. That's the only calls that we can
It's
take.
not going to always be happy and roses, Dex. We know this.
Look at that. The phones are starting to empty out. No one's calling.
Whatever. Lies.
All right, people are still calling.
See?
But we'll get to some of these stories. We'll be back right here on Hot. All right. Good morning. Hang on just a second. You're going to be our first person. Hey, good morning. We've got one call ahead of you. Stand by. Hey, good morning. We've got two calls ahead of you. Stand by. Aaron said, doomed, I say. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This
is Joy. You know who this is, Dex and Barbie T. Don't be playing with my emotions.
Okay.
Good morning.
What's up, Miss Joyce? Tell us the real.
Yeah, tell us about this girl who's playing with this man's emotions.
First of all, you were together 2 years. Did you not have a conversation prior to you moving in together? Because I know in some point in aspect you had a conversation in regards to moving in together.
Uh-huh.
So you're having regret now that you moved in together?
Yep.
Oh no, you already felt this personal way before you even did it.
Yep.
So why was you not honest up front and say, nah, you live at your place, I live at my place, we meet in the middle? She's gonna lose him.
Yep.
I'm telling you, because if he got that much, if when you get in so much invested in a relationship that you decide to take that next step, and you say, "Oh no, I want to pull back." Oh no, you done, you dead.
Thank you very much.
Ooh, y'all giving me anxiety this morning.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I am Sabrina, and I'm in Anderson.
Have you done this? Have you been able to successfully take a step back and the relationship still survived?
Yes. It took a lot of understanding and communication on both parts, though.
Speak on it, honey. Let them know.
Okay. We were struggling because we moved in very quickly. I actually ended up pregnant our very first time. So we kind of got pushed into all of that. Then it was actually after the baby was born. I couldn't deal with it. So I made him move out. We talked first. Like, I just told him I needed some space. That was so fast, and it was not working for me. And he was very upset to start with, but we communicated, and we got back on track. We stayed separate for a good little while, and now we are back together. Everything is going well, and we now have 2 children together, and it's been almost 13 years.
Okay,
Woo!
good for you. And I will say this, okay,
Yeah.
you are definitely a unicorn, but
Yes.
you're also your unicorn is not that special in that. Sorry, I'm being honest. I'm sorry. I'm being
What do
honest.
you mean?
That's fine.
Because they had a kid together. If you guys didn't have that kid together, come on. Do you think he would have, you guys would have still been together?
Well, we were already moving in together, but then, that with all of the stress of having a baby, that just made it worse for me. And, part of that could have been postpartum also.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with that part.
That's a
Yeah,
good point.
yeah. No,
But
for
we
real.
did have to communicate
Interesting.
a lot.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank
you for
you.
your call.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's the kid.
See?
100% the kid.
But-
If they didn't have a kid,
But he could have still walked away. He still had the freedom
yeah,
to
but
walk
the
away.
kid brought
He
them
wanted to
back
stay.
together. No,
He wanted to stay.
he wanted to leave, and then the kid was like, no, I'm going to give it a shot. How many times have you heard that statement before? We're going to try it for the kids. Good morning. My mom did that. Good morning. Dr. Marie, go ahead.
I need y'all to understand why I feel the way I feel.
Yeah, let's hear it. Speak.
In regards to me and my husband, we have been married 13 years. For 90% of our marriage, he has been an over-the-road driver. We own our own trucking company,
Yep.
which means I see him 6 days out of the month. In the next 10 years, he will be retiring. We have already had the conversation that when he retires, he can't just sit at home because his wife is used to having her house to herself, and that's the way it's going to stay. So he has to get a job or a hobby when he retires. He cannot go from only being in my house 6 days out of the month to every day, 24/7, 365. No, that's not going to work.
Right. So are you guys going to
It's
have
the
like some kind of
conversation.
separate place for him?
Nah, separate place, my toe. He just got to get out my house.
Oh, okay. But how is he going
He
to get
gonna
out of your
find
house for
something
like,
to do.
you're saying he's
He
going to have
gotta
to get out
find
of your house
something
for
to
like
do.
20 days? Oh, a month?
No,
No, he just
can
can't
sleep
sit at
there
the house
night.
and do nothing.
Yeah, that part. That part.
Mm.
I'm used to things being the way that they are. I had to get used to him not being here. At the beginning of our marriage, it was a problem for me because I didn't get married to be by myself. but I had to understand that this is what he does to take care of his family. And he is a man's man. He old school. He don't like the fact that I work. He feel like if I work, then I'm saying he can't take care of us.
Listen. I hope that the Lord blesses us with 10 to 12 years of radio together, that we can continue to do this show, because I want an update after he retires. I want to see if you guys stay together.
Look, he is going to have to find a hobby or a job, or we will be divorced. I'm telling you what it is.
Yeah, I know.
He could go get a little part-time job.
Yeah.
You know.
He could go get a little part-time job, go shoot pool with his friends, whatever he want to do. It just ain't going to be at 108.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I love you, Marie. I love you so much. Just know that I love you so much.
It just is what it is. There is, to every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. His action was to be on the road for most of our marriage. My reaction is for him to be out of my house for most of his retirement. Period, point blank.
Nyla says that Publix is always hiring old folks. So. Thank you,
He got
Dr.
to
Marie.
do something.
Vicky,
gosh.
did you see that? Maria's right. My dad worked security overseas for 11 years. When he came home, oh my God, my mom went nuts because
She was used to doing her own thing.
yeah. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. The next thing we are doing as we move on. Do we want to play that one girl's call? I mean, like, it was good, but at the same time, I think we're ready to move on, right?
I guess so.
Are you? What do you guys think? Should we move on to the next thing? The next thing is something we do every so often. It is called Look at Me Now. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
You remember that? Yeah. Hit us up, folks. Should we do Look at Me? Well, let me explain what Look at Me Now is. And you're welcome to go ahead and start thinking about your stories. Look at Me Now. Yep, Kokithia says move on. Christina says move on. Love it. Looking at more votes. Look at Me Now is basically where we say, hey, look, did someone ever doubt you back in the day? Like when you were just first starting. It's almost like that Drake song, Start Up on the Bottom, Now We Here.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is we want to hear your stories of, basically you coming up, where you started, and now where are you now? And so that's kind of how we start. So at the end of each one of these stories, after you share it with us, you just got to end it with Look at me now. Boom.
Look at me now. I'm getting paper.
That's right. Anna says move on too. Okay, good. We'll do that then. We'll go ahead and get this next break in, and we'll start from there. Hold a second. Let me get that done. Okay. And do you guys have a story for that? Look at me now. Someone doubted you back in the day. If you haven't heard my story, there is a guy named Terry, and when I first started working in radio, I was making nothing. I mean, like, I think my pay was $6 an hour. All right. And then they bumped it up a quarter after my first year and a half. And so the general manager sat me down in his office, and he told me I did not have a voice for radio and that I needed to get out of the radio game because I was never going to make it and I was never going to be able to make a living on this. This was in Knoxville, by the way, for the folks who live in Knoxville. And so I was like, oh my gosh, that gave me a lot of fire because I was like, I'm going to prove this guy wrong.
Right, you got to.
Yeah, freaking 60-year-old. What does he know? Now he lives in Hawaii. I guess he knew a lot. But anyways, he did this twice to me. He literally did this twice to me. And so the second time it happened, I was like, well, I got to get out of here. And I came to South Carolina, and I moved around all over the place. And now here we are. We have a great show.
Boom.
You know what I mean?
Booming.
So it's doing good. If you have a story, you can either hit it up in the comments or you can call us 866-639-4689. Hit us up in the calls or whatever you want to do. We would love to hear those stories.
He was wrong, and you are amazing. Never forget that, Dex.
Oh,
Jacqueline.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oof.
You got to prove him wrong.
Yeah, no doubt.
I love that. I love that. Like,
I don't have any ill will towards it. We actually talk every once in a while. But at the same time, like, man, Jenna. Oh, you go, Dex. Oh, thank you very much, Jenna.
When I was in high school, I have enough credits to graduate early. My guidance counselor said she wouldn't suggest that I would struggle and I would never make it because I had an IEP. So I graduated early. Fast forward 2 years, I dropped out of college and got married and had 2 kids. Fast forward, it's been 12 years since I graduated early and I'm in college and 1 semester left. Look at me now. Okay, Christina.
Stand by.
Period.
Dex and Barbie T on Hot Good Morning. All right, so if you need some motivation today, we're going to do something called Look at Me Now. That's going to be coming up just about 3 minutes away on Hot. Look at that post. Post Malone. That's a great story, too. If you can, give us a call on that real quick. Thank you very much, Dr. Marie. She said, you don't have a great show. You have the #1 show.
We would need a whole show to explain my great shift in energy and becoming great. Call in, Kenny.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Call in. Share your story, baby.
Hey, Kenny.
We need it. Somebody needs to hear your story. Always remember that. Never, shy off from telling your truth or living your truth because somebody out there needs it. Somebody out there does.
That's right. That's why we do this, too. That's the big thing that I love about this thing that we do on the show is it's always good to give people, some motivation and maybe someone is hearing that right now. That's why we really wanted to do this because we talked about this and think about that. Because I was sharing that story with you off the air. And, there could be someone that is being told, no, you're not going to do it. And when you get told by someone that's huge, you know what I mean? That could have one of two effects. For me, it just made me angry, and I said, okay, I'm going to prove him wrong.
Yeah.
And then, or it could actually shut you down, and you just not do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I'm curious.
Yes, I used to be a person who had it. It had to be my way or no way, and I was an escort. Took care of my 3 children, and I got touched by God, and I now live for the Lord. I'm an evangelist and lead people to the Lord. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's a big change.
That is.
That's a huge shift in energy. Yeah, I like how Kenny said that shift in energy.
Yes, it is an energy shift for real.
1 minute away, fam. By the way, were we on live when we did the true crime? Guys, that last call that came in, we were off of live, and man, we're gonna play it on Tuesday for True Crime Tuesdays. Man, I still because Barbie was even out of the studio on that.
I don't think I got that one.
It was the girl that got kidnapped at gunpoint, and man, it was intense. 2 people were shot.
Oh, that girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a car ran through a house.
Oh, yeah, that was wild.
That's insane. The guy ended up getting 2 life sentences and 15 years tacked on top of all of that, which I think life in prison is 30 years, unless you get life without parole, and then I think that means that you're, in there forever. I think it's different in each state.
Yeah.
Here we go.
What are we doing right here?
Uh-oh. All right, so it's something we like to call Look at Me Now. So basically, here's what we're looking for. Someone right now might be being told that they're not going to be able to be successful in life. Hopefully that never happens to you, but it has happened to people. I share my story whenever we do this, and it's a simple one. When I was starting out in radio, there was a guy who was the general manager. He was like one of as high as it got in the building, and he sat me down twice and told me I didn't have a voice for radio and that I needed to get out of it because I was never going to make any money in it. And so what we want to do is because look at me now.
Right, exactly. You're doing great things.
Right. We're in multiple cities. If you go all the way to Birmingham, at one point I was in Hawaii. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I've been able to make a good living. But some people might be told that right now, and they either make it do 2 things to them. It either shuts them down or it makes them, say, hey, you know what? I'll show them. So
how did it affect you?
Exactly. For me, it did that. It made me say, okay, I've got to prove this guy wrong. I've got to do it,
Yeah.
So 866-639-4689. That is our number. Here's what we want to hear. give us a story about how, like, and maybe someone did motivate you, whatever. You started from the bottom, and now you're at the top. All right? Look at me now. That's how you finish every story. You call in, share your story about how you started from the bottom and now you're here, and then you say, look at me now.
Yeah, and then you may not be at the top, at the peak, or you may just be in a better place.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure. 866-639-4689. Your story might be able to motivate someone right now that is hearing something negative like that. And that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that they are going to be super. Maybe not a freaky girl. Super in life. Okay? Give us a call. All right. Hey, good morning. Hang on just a second. You are going to be our first person, okay?
All right.
I love these stories.
Me too. 25 years is a life sentence. All right, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Harrison, and I'm calling from Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Good morning. Go ahead. Tell us your story. So what happened when you started?
Basically, I've always wanted to be like a stand-up comedian. I've wanted to do all these amazing things, and people would always tell me, like, nah, you're not good enough, you're not funny, you're not good-looking enough. And then high school was over, and I went into the military, and they literally saw me go into the military. They saw all these like pictures of me doing amazing things, and so many of these girls from high school and beyond were like, "Oh, hey, how are you doing?" And then they tried to get with me, and I was like, "Before you just didn't think I was anybody." And
okay,
now they see you doing big things. You're in the military. You know what I mean? You're popping right now. So they're like, oh, let me hop on to him.
Right.
And then when I got out of the military, I got that 90% disability. So that's
they see a check.
That's not bad at all. Okay, listen to you. Thank you very much. Finish it off, okay? Say, look at me now.
Look at me now.
Boom. Thank you.
Check you out.
Dr. Marie over there said, was it the guy on Ghosted from yesterday? I was on crack, but now I've been drug-free for a year. Look at me now. How about that? Look at him now.
Look at him being great.
Yeah. that was hard for you to say.
It was. No, like, I still wouldn't have dated him.
Yeah, Jackie's like,
so he was ugly in school, and now he's not. Next call.
I know.
Those are good stories too, though, because some people just in high school it's that awkwardness. It's the awkwardness. You don't really know yourself yet. You don't know your style. You haven't figured yourself out, and it's just like, yeah.
What's it like?
Yeah. You just don't know. I mean, seriously, like I look back at some high school pictures, and I'm like, whoo.
Oh, yeah. Guys, you know what? That's what we need to do. Me and you. We got to bring in our high school pictures. I have one where I look like I am starved, okay? I'm in a track outfit, like I'm malnourished or something like that, like just bones and everything like that.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, because I was a cross-country runner, right? And a track runner. And so I'm in my track outfit, and it's bad. Buzz cut with the big glasses.
Yikes.
Oh, dude. All right. I'm glad that I had some from the last time. In state custody. Dang. You ready for this story? Yes. Share those school pics. I think that would be great. Bring it in tomorrow. You want to do it?
Hold on. Let me see. I don't know. I don't know. I got to look at some of these pictures.
That's why you have a day to do it?
Ah.
Ah! Oh, I love it. This was a good one. Oops, didn't want her. All right.
Renee, she just sent me her high school. Renee, your daughter looks just like you. That's your twin. That was you in 1998.
That thing's
Right.
bad. Hey, good morning. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name is Scott. I'm calling from Winder, Georgia.
All right, Scott, we only got about a minute, so share your story. What happened? Started from the bottom, now you're here. Did anyone tell you couldn't do it?
Yes, they used to. I'm a male cake decorator, and I had a lot of people, tell me I would never amount to anything. And a couple of years ago, I decided to share, what I do on Facebook, and my following has definitely taken off. I've had people from around the world saying how much of an inspiration I am to them, and I get tons of love and views on my videos.
So how many views have you got on some of these videos?
Well, over 1 million.
Okay,
that's
I posted
good.
a video a couple days ago, and it got, I think it's like at 200,000 views.
Wow.
I get viewers from all across the world, and
Are you getting orders from all across the world?
no, the bakery I work at, actually, they don't ship out, but
Well-
they're kind of looking into it, so maybe one day.
You
I
should.
really hope so.
Well,
Yeah.
so everybody's asking on Facebook Live, what's your name and how can they follow you? Real quick.
My name is Scott. The page is called Scott's Cake Love, and please check it out. I would love to get some more followers and provide inspiration for other decorators.
Love
you
it.
said Scott's Cake Love.
Scott's Cake Love, yes, ma'am.
Boom. Thank you.
Yeah.
I hate when I have to hang up on them. There we go. All right, so what are we doing right now? It's called Look at Me Now.
Look at me now.
Okay.
I'm getting paper.
Okay, so here's what we want to do. We want you to give us a call and share a story about how, like, someone said that you couldn't do it and you're never going to amount to anything. And now here you are years later. Look at me now. Killing it. We want to hear those stories. It's an inspiration to anyone who's listening this morning that might be having a hard time. Good morning.
Right.
Our first person, go ahead, share your story.
Man, I've been so blessed as far as I quit school in the 9th grade with a 5th grade reading level, and everybody said I wouldn't make nothing. I own a business, make a lot of money. I got my dream car this year, a 2020 Corvette.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
I love
Yes,
that, Kenneth. That is awesome.
I do too. I got a 2020 Renegade Jeep, whatever option you can get, and I paid my house off this year. So I have been so blessed this year.
That's
Absolutely. You crushed it.
I used to work in the car business years ago, and I couldn't even spell customer's name. I had to get their license to ask their name. I quit in an early age in school. Back in the day, it was different. You didn't have to go to school,
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you for that story. Thanks so much for calling and listening.
And come pick me up in that Corvette, honey.
No, I want you to drive it, Barbie T. That thing's bad.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I still haven't got the keys yet.
Well, yeah, no. But listen to that. I mean, like the
Yeah,
guy
that's
dropped out so
awesome.
early.
No.
I'm sure he probably had a lot of people saying that he wasn't going to be able to do it.
Right.
The guy can't even spell Corvette, and now he has one. You know what I mean? Well, he said it. He couldn't spell back in the day. You know what I mean?
Constance said, I got pregnant at the beginning of my junior year. My dad and even my principal told me I needed to drop out, that statistics of teen pregnancy finishing high school is low, and I should just get my GED. I refused, never missed a day through my entire pregnancy, attended every day my senior year while I was a single teen mom working, and I graduated, went into nursing. Granted, my life hasn't been easy, but my oldest graduated. My second is about to graduate, and I have no grandchildren. I broke the cycle. Look at me now. Yes, Constance.
Good stuff. Good morning. Go ahead. What about you?
So growing up from like 12 all the way to 17, I was a horrible child. I spent the last few years of my life in state custody. It was just a nightmare, all in my own merit.
Okay.
So I can't think back to anybody that actually said, hey, you can't do this, you won't be that. But I thought back to a lot of people that told me you can be this and you will be that. At that point in my life, though, I rolled my eyes. I didn't believe it. And I think it's important that we not only recognize the naysayers, but also the ones that say you can do this.
That's a good point.
I went to churches and all types of weird stuff. They told me all this great stuff about how my life would be all this. I was, for radio talk, I was a ding-dong. They say you can't turn a ding-dong into a housewife.
Uh-huh.
Well, today I'm 30 years old. I have 2 kids, the dog, the big house, 2 cars, a husband. It's been a real different story, and I like to thank all the people that said, hey, you can do this, even though I was the one saying, girl, you'll never be that.
Oh, I love that too. I love that too.
That hit.
Yeah.
That hit. That's something that's really important to me. The people around me always pushing me. I thank y'all so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. 866-639-4689. That is our number. Look at me now. And yeah, we'll add that into the list. So like if someone supported you, that's great. But you started from the bottom and you had nothing or something crazy set you back or whatever, but you were able to overcome and you're doing amazing things. We'll go ahead and get to more of those stories coming up next. That is amazing. The pictures from Scott's Cake Love.
I haven't even. That's what I meant to. Okay.
Yeah. So Shan, she actually looked it up. Shan Laura looked up the thing, and she ended up sending me some of the pictures from the cakes, and they are. This guy's talented.
Somebody said, "We love you, Scott." I saw that. So people that are watching already know this guy.
Right. That's huge. I had a Psycho X who ended really bad. He said, I'll be crawling back to him 6 months, but I'm happily married to a great man for 11 years. Look at me now. Oh,
Yes.
I love that. Maria over on Hot 104.5 says, Scott is great.
Am I putting in the wrong thing?
Someone link him. Someone link him in the comments, please.
Please.
Shan, yeah, could you link him if you have that? QL said, "You're welcome, Barbie. We love you. That's great. Man, that's cool. I love it. I want to see the pictures and whatnot. All right, Pam. I think it's time for us to wrap up our live this morning, guys. We're gonna be back on tomorrow morning. Couple of things before we wrap up for those who are still on here. And by the way, if you can link that so that there's still a little bit of time so people can check out Scott's cakes.
I know. I'm sitting. It's not coming up for me.
Right, Barbie's wanting to specifically. So here's what we got coming up this week. So thank you to Jackie. All right.
Jackie bought that?
Yes.
Jackie, why would you do that?
So we're going to play a game on the show. It's called Chip Roulette. Okay? And so we will, Jared and I, we're going to go look for chips that look exactly like the one chip. And then we're going to have them on plates on Friday. And we're going to, try to, each of us will take turns picking a chip up and then eating it. Okay? And then one of us will probably get, well, yes, we'll definitely get the one chip.
Scott.
You see it? Yeah?
Hey, Scott.
So
I like cake.
That's Friday. Get ready for that. What?
Scott.
What? Are they good?
These look real good.
I like it. You better get it before we have to start that diet.
Scott, come through with a cake.
That's the calorie loading day. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, Scott. Bring hither.
All right, fam.
Cupcake.
That's
One
going to
of these
wrap it up.
flour cakes.
Thank you guys so much. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.